This is a super important video. I try to keep everything really positive, and I'm still gonna come at this from a positive light, but I think this is super important. There's a recent bodybuilder guy that just died, 30 years old. He went by Joesthetics on YouTube and had a lot of followers, a lot of people watching him. And I'm sure when he was 19, 20, 21, 22, he started watching YouTube fitness, and he started watching guys like Cbum, Doucette, and Kali Muscle. These are like the biggest accounts on YouTube fitness. The problem is these are all drug addicts, and they're self-admitted drug addicts. They tell you they inject drugs. These guys literally, they're so insecure that they inject drugs into their butt every single week so that people can tell them that they look good or that they look strong or whatever, right? But none of them are healthy. They're drug users that inject drugs into their body and have these weird unnatural physiques. And what you have is like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds kind of looking at it, and then they're like, oh, this guy sells this protein powder, so if I drink that, I'll look like him. And they do it, and obviously they don't, but then they keep watching it, keep watching it, keep watching it, and they're like, oh, I should look like that. I'll start using drugs or whatever, steroids, because he's cool, he does it, I want to be cool like him. And then you get these guys using steroids, and some of them unfortunately dying young. Unfortunately, like over 90%, I would say 99% of fitness YouTubers are on steroids. Listening to a YouTuber, a fitness guy on steroids, is the same as listening to a crackhead tell you about being lean. A crackhead is lean. He has like 7% body fat, and all he does is walk and like not eat for weeks at a time. But you wouldn't ask him for health advice. And even though he's right, technically you could shoot heroin or smoke crack and not eat for a month and you're gonna lose a lot of body fat. But that's really dumb, and that's not something you should do. And like these guys too, like Cbum or Doucette, like technically if you worked out for 3 hours a day, you would get like them. But no, actually you would never get like them, but you would grow muscles. But you're not on drugs. You can't do what they do. Like if you work out for 3 hours a day, you're gonna be exhausted for 2 days after 1 day of workout. And if you slept for 5 hours a day, your muscles are never gonna grow and recover, right? You can't get up at 3:30 a.m. and do 3-a-day workouts. All that stuff is nonsense, and it's only useful for people who are injecting drugs. So it's real important that people not listen to drug addicts, teach them about fitness. And this is kind of why I started my channel. I want people to learn from someone who's actually natural, who does not use drugs. The only drug I use is caffeine, and very rarely I'll have a cup of coffee. I just don't do it. I think I want to live a long time and feel good every single day. And so I think it's weird that most of the fitness advice comes from literal drug addicts telling people what to do, but that stuff doesn't work for them. Just like a crackhead can tell you what to do, but like you can't do that because you're not a crackhead. You can't do what they do because you're not injecting drugs into your system. So none of these guys are giving anybody health advice. In fact, they're setting people back, and some of these people are going to use drugs as well, all kinds of injectable steroids, and some are going to die, unfortunately, because it comes with consequences. There's no free lunch in fitness. In fitness, like the free lunch is walking, getting good sleep, and lifting weights. That's pretty much the free lunch. Like that is the things you can do that give you all benefits and no downsides. Once you start using a lot of like supplements or drugs or anything like that, there's like, yeah, there's benefits. You gain muscles faster, it's that, the other, but there's huge drawbacks as well. Some of them psychological. You had a lot of these dudes that kill themselves or commit crimes, like the wrestling guy and stuff like that. It messes with their brains. So just wanted to put that out there. Do not listen to people who use drugs, who literally inject drugs every week into their body. Dangerous drugs. Teach you about health or fitness. That's terrible advice, especially if you're not also injecting those drugs, because what they're telling you is just going to lead you nowhere. You're going to be like, man, why am I doing the same things he does and I get nowhere? It's like, because you need to do different things, because you're not on drugs. You need lots of sleep, and you actually need to get stronger. You can't work out for pumps. You need to use progressive overload. You need to use compound movements. Anyways, that's my rant for today. Hope you guys have an awesome day. If one kid watches this and realizes like you're not supposed to look like Cbum, like some ridiculous Hulk looking dude, because that's not natural, then that's great. This was worth the video. These guys, I kind of see them as like the Kim Kardashian of fitness, where it's like her whole body is fake, right? So it's like, I'm not saying they're bad people or anything like that. I don't know them. But what they're pushing on people is these weird things that are unnatural and they're really unattractive. And like, even if you look at like, attraction is like a biological thing, right? Even that's why squirrels have it and frogs and tortoises and everything has it, right? And what it is like a human being has seen traits that it's seen millions of generations before that tell them that this person is like a good mate for them. But people like Cbum, like no one has ever looked like that in the last millions of years. So that's why if you're a guy and you're watching this, like women are not attracted to that. It's completely unnatural because it doesn't match anything that their DNA has seen for millions of years that tells them that you're like fertile or attractive. It's just like a weird thing, right? It's like a freak show. Like think of like seeing a girl with fake boobs that are like this big. Like if they're like this big, you're not attracted to her. You might look at her, but it's more of like a weird thing you're looking at. Like there's no actual, you don't want to go get her. You're not physically attracted to her. You're physically attracted to things that, again, that your body and your mind has seen for like millions of years as someone you can replicate, in essence, make a copy with together that makes good copies for your genes to survive and pass on. But that look is not it, for sure. That's it, guys. Have an awesome day, and hope you enjoyed the video.